are from Predo Baby with 4 different options to win. Follow us on Facebook at Predo Baby South America. Predo Baby diaper is known for its premium quality and high absorbency level. It keeps your baby dry and comfortable with its stretchy waistband. Available in regular paste and pull-up pants style from newborn to stage 7. See press for details or contact us on 233-2473. Predo Baby, the diaper of the new generation.
Hello there, Guyana. You've asked for it. It is finally here. The Wake Up Guyana Show with yours truly, Leonard Gildarie. Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Make your voices be heard. Call us, text us. Kaieteur Radio 99.1, 99.5 FM. The Wake Up Guyana Show. Hi, yes, good day. A good day to you. Season's greetings to you too. It is December the 10th, 2020, and I want to welcome you once again to the Wake Up Guyana Show right here on Kaieteur Radio. I feel very excited. The roads, everything, there seems to be a feeling in the air. We seem to be getting into the spirit of things. Yes, things might be a little tough with you and with the country and with the entire world. But that doesn't stop you from, having a very high spirits. You've got to uplift yourself there. It won't do us well to have any kind of depression at the moment. And that is my message to you today. So I want to say, you see, I'm wearing the Santa cap today because I want to start, pushing that kind of happiness across this nation, positive energy, season's greetings, those kind of things that we should be saying to each other. As we move this country forward, we're going to be very aggressive in doing so, that we ask our people to all play a role. And your role is that you're at home, you're in your minibus, you're in the truck today, you are going to be in that positive frame of mind. Do not get angry with anybody. Do things, smile and wave, and make sure that you let other people see that your goodness is coming through, your positive frame of mind is coming through, and they should be seeing that. So it is December the 10th, 2020. You are tuned into the Wake Up Guyana Show right here on Kaieteur Radio. We coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio here in Charleston. And if you're in Eskimo and Demerara, it is 99.1 FM. In Berbice, it's 99.5. You can also stream us on Kaieteur Radio on YouTube or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. And there are many things to talk about today. There is a war going on between the People's Progressive Party, Civic, their ruling party at the moment, and the coalition, and both of them are strangely enough in a war to see who's going to win the supporters of the marijuana, that sector there that wants to ensure that they push it so there's going to be a relaxation of the laws. So, you could recall the People's Progressive Party, Civic, in government would have indicated that they're moving to relax some of the penalties and some of those things that would crowd up our jail systems, and they're working with that so they could increase the quantity that you could legally have. No, well, sorry about that. That's a wrong thing to say. What they're doing is to make sure that if you're caught with it right away, it's not automatic jail sentence, especially or that you're being held in remand, especially if it's for recreational purposes. On the other side of things, the coalition is tendering to the National Assembly sections of the law related that they want to have some adjustments that is almost going to be doing some kind of relaxation to this is layman's term so we understand. So this is a good thing because when you look at the bigger picture of what our politicians are supposed to be doing, I have always said that I have a wish, and the wish is that we need all hands on deck. We might agree to disagree on certain issues fundamentally from a principled perspective. That's okay in politics. When it comes to the development of this country on a whole, we should be one together in unity on these matters when it comes to protecting our oil, our natural resources, our gas, our gold, our bauxite, our forests, our fishes in our rivers, in our economic zone area, and so on. These are things that we should be very passionate and together as one. And it is good to see that on one issue here, on the marijuana, that they're putting their heads together. How we could wish that the government and the opposition could hold one head when it comes to the oil. Well, they are holding one head, which is not saying anything much with that. Let us see where that goes. But whatever it is that you're doing, wherever you are, I want to wish you season's greetings today. It is a day also. I'm wearing a little orange here. There's a reason why I'm doing that. It is one of those days, and my understanding of it is 16 days since Guyana would have started its observances of, less domestic violence in our homes, in our society. And there is an awareness campaign going on right now, started by the Guyana, the Ministry of Human Resources, their human services rather, by Minister Dr. Vindhya Prasad. And it is good that we understand that it's not good. The answers to our problems, we are going to have teeth and tongue, as the old people would say, with our partners, and it should not be one with resorts to violence, that we should be beaten, that we should be killing. In fact, we're raising the awareness that anybody who resorts to that, me personally, Gildarie, is going to say, you need to seek help. We view anything that see any kind of actions that is going to hurt somebody as put pain, put marks on their body, that is going to allow the children to see something like that and experience it and live with it and think it's okay. That are not something that good men and women do. Good men and women in this country show respect towards each other, and if you know somebody, raise your voice, raise your voices, do not do anything. So I am lending my voice to that as well. We have to ensure that we do what is the correct thing, what is the right thing, and the charity begins at home. It all starts with you. It doesn't start with Gildarie. It starts with you. You have to start pushing yourself. You have to start doing things that's going to increase, improve everything in this country that we could take us to another level. People talking about Dubai and all kinds of things. We have our own little paradise here. Lots of food, lots of places to see, many things to do in Guyana. We just only have to make this place our own little paradise. And I'm very passionate about that, and you should become passionate too. Because when you go into another man's country, you're going to toe the line. You're going to throw the garbage into the receptacles and into those garbage bins and so on. You're going to make sure that if you're parking, you're not parking in a handicap zone. If you're driving, you're not going to drink and drive. If you have to pay your taxes, you're going to do that. You could do everything within the law, but you come to Guyana, want to break the law, drive without park lights and things like that, and you get vexed when the police think that. And I get vexed too, because we foster that kind of relationship that we allow people to take advantage of us because we allow ourselves. We want to break the laws, and that's the reality of it. So it is December 10th, 2020. And guess what? We will be opening the lines very early today because it is about your time, as usual, to raise those issues. We're getting a little better here. Yesterday, we would have had the Guyana Power and Light Inc. on this program here, representatives. And this is second week, and I'm really amazed that they're actually excited to come here to talk to the people. And of course, the people have been blowing them, making sure that, they express the displeasure of some of the services. But GPL, on the other hand, is saying we need to improve it. We want to improve it. And it doesn't matter that you are going to criticize us. We're taking it all in stride, but we want to know what is affecting you and how could we improve it. That's their attitude, and I kind of like that. And so we will try to bring other heads of department too. We did try with NIS and so on and so forth. And if you have people who have issues with NIS, the numbers, I'm going to read out those numbers in a very short while. In the meantime, as usual, every single day when we're with you, we look at our largest selling newspaper daily, or your most popular, your coffee newspaper, the one that you look forward to have the news on all unadulterated, without any checks to make sure that it has been changed somewhat. We don't have any agenda in that direction. We're going to put it to you whether you like it or not, and you'd have to make your conclusions here. And this is what your newspaper today, December the 10th, 2020, is saying no EIA environmental impact assessment required for waste treatment plant at Friendship. And this is a mud plant that's going to be dealing with a lot of toxic chemicals and so on. EPA is saying that this company here that's setting it up on the Friendship on the East Bank of Demerara, they don't need to do an environmental impact assessment. We are going to be dealing with it. Otherwise, we're going to make sure that they do the necessary, but we're going to give them permission, but not necessarily that they require this this study here. Petrobras, this is in Brazil now, and this is an interesting story here. Petrobras uses Guyana to pressure Brazil, and this is a big company, oil company in Brazil, is saying look to Guyana, and they want permits, and so they say look to Guyana's situation, and look at what they're doing, and we want our oil permits as well. So they have been quoting the Guyana situation. So everybody's looking towards Guyana. Are we going to do the right thing? Are we going to shut our mouth? Are we going to not? Are we going to allow our politicians of the divide to not give us a better deal? Everybody's saying that it can't be done, that it's already, if you have a deal with a tenant and, you build your house, and, when you would have given them this apartment to rent, it was a 2-bedroom, and you would have built some more, and it has become a 3-bedroom or so. It is reasonable to think that you could ask for a raise, although there would have been a tenancy agreement, because now the man has, instead of 1 car, he has 3 cars bringing into the yard. So it is reasonable for you as a landlord to ask that person, could I have a better deal? I want you to give me some more rent. And there's nothing wrong with you asking. There's nothing wrong in you wanting to ensure that this country gets a better deal, because when we would have talked in 2015, 2016 there with the government, between the government, the coalition then, and the Exxon at that point in time, it was just not so many barrels of oil. Today we are almost 10 billion barrels of oil and oil equivalent there, and we could reasonably expect as citizens of this country that our government reasonably could sit down and have some negotiations, because it's all for the better of this country. That's their job. That's a mandate. The coalition, by extension, as the opposition, should be doing their job to push it. And when you see they don't do it, and you look all around the world what's happening with countries involved with oil and where they are, you look at Africa and so on, you have to be very worried and you have to be concerned. And so 19-year-old, and this is a very good story that I like, 19-year-old is of course locally trained and certified helicopter pilot. And since with the advent of the oil industry there, oil and gas, there has been more companies coming in here to operate helicopter services. And here you have a 19-year-old locally trained and certified helicopter pilot got his wings yesterday, and this is very, very good. This is very good in terms of when we're talking building capacity. So this young man here, we look forward to see him going places, as well as other people who might want to get into the sector in Guyana. And he is none other than Azam Ali. And so I think it is good to see that Captain Azam Ali. And so yesterday also Guyana to name and shame non-compliant security forms. I like this kind of thing. We would have had Minister Hamilton, Joseph Hamilton, on the radio here recently, and it's a very very serious situation when you have. And my issues to him is that we should not be giving contracts to companies that are non-compliant. And non-compliant meaning, if you don't pay your taxes, why am I giving you contracts? If you don't pay your NIS on behalf of your staffers, why am I giving you contract? Who allows that? Who is the PS that would dare do that? Who is the minister that allows that in his or her ministry? You cannot do that. You have to protect the people of this country. Our people are the most precious of resources, more precious than oil, more precious than our forestry and everything. If you don't protect your people, then those resources that we have out there, the natural resources, they make no sense because you have to protect them. They have to benefit, but they have to be given the protection under the laws. So if you have companies not paying the NIS, not paying the taxes, and you're giving them state contract, something is wrong with that picture. Man drunks trying to remove Saint from boat propeller. Tragic thing, a tragic story here. I think it's a Venezuelan there. Barge slams into the Damar Harbor Bridge. We paying very close attention to this story here, and let me tell you why it's important. Year in year out we see things happening in here, and we should be taking all kinds of precautions. There has to be something that the Harbour Bridge they got to be doing there, because that's the one link that we have. While it is as strong as can be, that Harbour Bridge is not efficient enough because it's too many vehicles using that Harbour Bridge on a daily basis. So if it goes down, we're going to be in deep trouble. But to have a barge runs into this, somebody going to be paying for it. So I'm hoping that these barges, they have insurance and that we could get some money out of it, because every time you got to repair, money is coming out from the Demerara Harbour Bridge, from taxpayers basically there, because it belongs to the taxpayers. And it goes in there, and at the end of the day, we have to pay for it. So this is a very serious situation. As of now, it's not it's just light vehicles. They're allowing some trucks below 12 tons and so on without any weight. It has to be below 12 tons, and they are looking to fix that. COVID-19 created new opportunities for corruption, and this is the UNDP's warning. It says, yes, while your attention is on COVID-19 and whatever it is that is happening to you in this country of ours, you have to pay attention to what is happening to your state contracts and whatever else is happening across the country. If you have a road that's being built in your community, if you have a bridge that's being built, any kind of contracts going on, pay attention. Make sure that you ask for the bill of quantities. You have the right. The ministers them say that you have the right to ask for it. So UNDP is warning us about something that we know about all along, but you have to get yourselves involved as well. Do not allow it to our people, our NDC chairman and the vice chairman and the overseers and everybody. You see what happened in Crabwood Creek there? The people came out, whether they have vested interest in calling for the removal of the chairperson or the overseer. And you will know the chairperson, I think, is Mr. Tiro Arjun from Crabwood Creek there, the NDC there. He has come out and defended himself, and he said the people who are attacking him right now are the people that the NDC would have moved against for having infractions, building illegal structures and so on. But the point is, you have a right to ask for the removal. You have a right to say, I'm not pleased with the service, Gildarie. I'm not pleased with the service as the chairman for that NDC, and you have the right to do that. So Poor Law Commission established a review list of 12,000 on public assistance, and this is a very good thing too. You would know that the government has a list of several persons who can't make it, who can't, need the assistance from the state, whether it's a small cash grant or something, on a monthly basis, a small subsidy to them. So there's a Poor Law Commission now that's been established, and they're going to look at what kind of help. When you talk about increasing the lives of our people in this country here, you have to talk about giving them the kind of assistance. NIS has to play its role. Old age pensions have to be increased. The subsidies for water and light. These are the kind of things, students are getting some help in the home, and, those monies are going to go to the parents. I think it's $4,000 per student there. Then you're also going to get a $25,000 cash grant. All these things adds up, as to helping families. But when it comes to the most vulnerable of persons in this country who would be needing the kind of assistance that they would require because they fall in hard times, because they have they're incapable physically to work, because maybe they would have something happened to them. We need to have a look at those vulnerable people. And we did had somebody, by the way, on the East Coast who've been calling me regularly. I did ask for some assistance. He's asking for television. Big ask, but there's nothing wrong with asking. And I'm trying to really, really get it. I have not been able. Somebody did call. That person need to call me back. He wanted to give a television. He did not call back. But that gentleman there, the amputee, is asking for some more protection for the vulnerable people in society. And he says he wants to get hold of the bodies as in charge of that. So it's good. We should bring attention to that. Very quickly, let's run through our favorite newspaper of the day. And it is talking about the government's cock and bull excuse. Peep and Tom today. Musical chairs at the Cuba Lodge. Okay, the president was in Escobar yesterday, and he would have talked to the NIS head there, the general manager who was there, and he asked her to fix an issue there right away for somebody who would have been complaining to him, while he would have taken his part of his cabinet to Escobar Coast, as well as several senior officials, housing officials, police, and others who were there on the Escobar Coast. And there were people complaining about housing, people complaining about pension, people were complaining about all kinds of things, and he took some decision to have some of them fixed right there and then on the ground there. The situation, the problem that I have with that, we should not be coming to a situation where people got to be begging the president for help. The systems should be working. That is what we need to have done. Union demands arbitration for decade-old sacking of 57 Russell worker. 2009, I think it was. Some workers fired up to now, 1 decade later. It speaks to our labor situation in Guyana. We don't have enough labor inspectors. We don't have so many things that is happening. On the Escobar Coast there, Lima Sands charity targeted for 600 house lots. You could recall that many persons on the Escobar Coast would have been reaching out, finding out what happened. Well, the government says it's going to try to create 600 house lots, and we're using Lima Sands as well as charity to develop those house lots. So very, very good. Very quickly, let's go through here. Caribbean Cinemas Movie Tongue irked by government's refusal to reopen cinemas. I have a little thought about this, when you have cinemas in Guyana, but they're saying that based on what they would have been seeing, some of the studies and so on, it's far better than, the rum shops and so on that have people right next to each other. If you go into that, they're going to make sure that you are seated, the social distancing and so on kicks into place. So there may be something there. I don't know much about it, but the arguments are for cinemas to be reopened in Guyana. There are lots of investments put into that. But on the other flip side of it, I know that several bars would have been issued warnings by the National Task Force on COVID-19. So it's a big issue. It's being debated right now. There's a lot of battles being fought over which business to open or not. A lot of people would have been complaining there. But let's see what happens. Canadian High Commission marks 16 days of activism against gender-based violence here. So we are, pick up your copies of your newspaper here and the Kaieteur newspaper and just go through it. Many things. President urges Region 2 businesses to follow COVID-19 protocols, and of course, some decent, some good stories there that you could pick up as usual in the newspaper there, favorite newspaper. So we are coming on just about 27 minutes after 1 o'clock there, and we are going to tell you that in a very short while, we will open those phone lines 226-7453. You could send those text messages to 6222222. Do not call us on that. Send us those messages. We are going to read them. Today, I'm all by myself. Thank you very much for, saying good things about my hat. It's there to, give you some some good things. It's my Santa hat. I'm hoping that Santa bring good things to the people of Guyana this year. Yes, it was a very tough year, COVID-19 and so on. And so there's some other stories that we have not talked about. Like this morning, there was a court case in which, there's a battle in the court now over the Minister of Tourism there and Trade, Mr. Onij Waldron. Miss Onij Waldron, rather, and she would have, the opposition would have challenged her position there as a minister, as an MP, because they're saying that she was a U.S. citizen while she was sworn in. Well, this morning, the Minister of Legal Affairs, Attorney General Anand Lal, would have submitted documents to the court, and they've admitted that, look, yes, she was a U.S. citizen when she was sworn in, and that we have since corrected the matter because we need her services there. She would have been sworn in early this month. We have corrected that situation. We have sworn her in that, and we are telling the court also. He says that yes, and it came in conflict with the Constitution. In essence, an error was made by having this minister, Ms. Waldron, sworn in. And that's a big case. It is a good case in which the Constitution is challenged and the court has ruled. And the court was asked, I'm not sure if the court was ruled, but it is good that the government of the day would come forward and say, well, look, we erred in this particular case. And in essence, that's what it comes down to. Let me see the Haitians now. Last evening, we're going to come back to the Haitians because I want to have a discussion about that. I have my own opinion about it, and we're going to come back and discuss it because when it comes to the protection of this country, I'm very crazy about that. When it comes to the protection of rights of people, of humans, of people across this globe, I'm all for that. So there are two sides to the story, and we're going to have a discussion on that. The Haitians have been released, 26 of them arrested. But in the meantime, it is just about 1:30 here, and what I'm going to tell you here, it is the CARICOM General Insurance time. You could follow us on Facebook for special deals on all insurance needs today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Ornock Street. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Ornock Street. At this point in time, do we have, are we breaking? Yeah, we are going to break for a few moments. Do not touch those dials. We are going to come back, talk to you about the Haitians. We're going to talk to you about the marijuana bill. We're going to talk to you about the 19-year-old pilot, helicopter pilot, one of the youngest, and of course, would have been trained and certified right here in Guyana. Stand by. We will be back in a short while.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer. With 6 months, no interest, and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Nice up your home for Christmas at Singer. Spend $20,000 or more between now and December 21st and be one of 4 winners of a Singer 55-inch Ultra HD television. Singer at home worldwide.
Kaieteur Radio, keeping you informed.
Demerara and Essequibo 99.1 FM.
Burby's 99.5 FM. Kaieteur Radio.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. It is that time of the day in which we will be opening our lines, and you could call us. You could tell us what is affecting you. What kind of Christmas are you What kind of Christmas are you expecting? You could also tell us about your thoughts on some of the big issues. Marijuana bill. Should we? To the question, we have 2 questions today. Or your thoughts, rather, that we want to talk about the marijuana bill. We want to talk about, what should we really do with this marijuana situation. It's a very touchy issue. Many people see it as one of the ways that, that could really see some destruction to the society. Other people saying it does not do that. Other persons, the authorities do believe that if you adjust the quantities in which you could have legally, or if we catch you, that you don't have to go to remand right away, then it's going to reduce the number of persons that we hold in our official prison system, and so therefore, you're not going to see the problems that we have there. So there's big debate going over it. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about the Haitians. The Haitians were arrested a few weeks ago. They were detained, taken off bus that was heading to Latam. They came in the country legally. They were using Guyana as a stepping stone to head elsewhere, and the authorities who were looking at them very closely, looking at this entire situation, detained them. And there was a lot of people who came out and says that, look, this is against what the region stands for. That's one. Two, they are human beings. They came here legally, so it was a very touchy issue. The matter went to court. The lawyer took them to court. They were being held in custody at the location, could not leave. And so they were released last night, dropped off at a hotel, and this is pretty late in the evening there. So the issue that is before us, did the government act right? Well, not the government, sorry, the authorities in this instance, did they act in a manner which should see us being regarded as a country which has respect for human rights? Is it a matter of human rights? Is it a matter that we should be paying attention to? What about the protection of our borders? Do we have a right to ensure that we do whatever it is to protect our borders versus the protection of human rights? It's a very touchy issue. I want to hear your thoughts on that. I want to hear your thoughts on Christmas and any other matters that are affecting you today. This is your time to do that. 2267453. And of course, you could call us on 6222222. In the meantime, I haven't forgotten you. Every single day, our people join us right across this beautiful nation of ours. And of course, overseas, North America, the Caribbean, Europe, right on our neighbors here in Suriname, French Guyana, right across this Caribbean and so many other places, St. Lucia, St. Martin, Trinidad, Brazil. I want to say good day to you. Even in Venezuela, people are joining us. I want to say good day, and I hope that you're having a good time. And I think some places it might be evening. So we haven't forgotten you. And right across Guyana to Essequibo, Demerara, Berbice. Thank you for being with us right now. So it is about time we are opening those lines right now. Do you have a caller in the air? Go right ahead. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Go right ahead. Hello? Hello? I think that person still on air? Hello? I think we would have lost that caller there. When you call in, make sure that your radio is down. I know that you want to listen, but make sure that it's down and that you're ready to take it down a notch when you talk to us. Good afternoon, Leonard. I've been following the ordeal by both past and present government. There's a famous quote in the Student Companion. Who could recall Student Companion? The older folks would know about it. Do we still use it in school? It goes, birds of a feather flock together. That's the position of the PPPC and APNU flocking together in a corrupt oil deal. Thank you very much, dear sir. I'm not sure. Okay, let me see this other one here. We work 7 hours, Monday to Friday, and Saturdays we work 7 hours, but we're not paid overtime on our Saturday pay because the company says we have to accumulate 40 hours for the week before we get to pay overtime. Is that legal, or do we have to pay overtime on Saturday? Thank you very much for this question. This issue here of working 40 and 45 hours per week, there is a position taken by the Ministry of Labor, and you could go back and you could visit the Ministry of Labor there. Ministry of Labor has to start taking these cases here. The companies that are treating 40 and 45 hours, let me see if it's 40 hours, what you're saying here, the 40 hours a week, the ministry is saying that they calculate it per day. So if you work a couple hours per day and you work another day overtime, you have to be paid that overtime for that particular day. That is what the Minister of Labor, Joseph Hamilton, told me in a program recently that he came to the studio. So he's saying that the people who have issues and are working with companies that are taking, let's say today you work 2 hours. Tomorrow you work 12 hours. The next day you work 12 hours, but it does not accumulate to 40 hours per week. At the end of the week, those hours that you work extra on those particular day, you have to get overtime for that. The man is saying that. The Minister of Labor is saying that. If you have an issue, the Ministry of Labor, you need to go to them and complain about what your employer is doing. And many of you are very scared to complain, but the ministry cannot act. That's what the minister says. Unless Gildarie, I have a complaint that is sitting before me. We're going to act then. And he says that the ministry has taken a decision very, very clearly with regards to those 40 hours a week. And I think I've explained it to you. He has a position. The ministry has a position. This is a very good thing that we're talking about here. So, good afternoon, Kaieteur. You're in the air. Go right ahead.
Yes, if I'm calling, something is bothering me bad.
All right. Could you lower your volume on your radio, please, before we do anything? Yes.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, that diamond there, where these people selling in front of the bank there, right?
Yes.
Starting a serious traffic problem there. These people stopping, customers stopping for buying, stop the vehicle middle of the road.
Yes.
Why? Cars in the traffic jam building up there. I don't know if the traffic chief will look into this matter.
All right. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna raise the issue back again. Thank you for that. I did want to. You see, one of the things that and you raise a very touchy issue there. For too long, whenever people do things that breaks the law, like for example squatting, and this is a case of squatting here. You see a bunch of people come out and they're talking, you're taking bread out of people's mouth. You're taking away the home. Poor people don't have anywhere to go. The issue has to do with a fundamental one, which is, if it is that you don't have anything or you don't have a job or anything, could I come and sit on Gildarie gold land and start mining on his gold land? That is breaking the laws.
No, that is wrong. That is wrong.
Right. So it's an issue that is like that. But I see what you're saying, because you can't just set up shop somewhere and just decide that because you don't have a job, you're going to set it up. And I have a fundamental issue with this.
They have a market. They can go to the market and do the business.
Well,
Right?
well, the people
I
are
think
the people who are stopping to buy. They are fueling the situation as well.
Yeah. But I'm saying, right? As a sand truck driver, heavy duty, then twin steer, right? And when you're going up to the sand pit, reaching the area there, you gotta take precaution because these people don't care three shit. They stop the vehicle, the porches, they don't control who they back to.
Right. I hear what you're saying there. I'm going to raise this matter back with the NDC and, of course, with the Ministry of Public Works, which is involved with this.
So, no, please don't cut me off.
Yes.
I got one more issue.
Uh-huh.
I got a neighbor, right, in front of me, that clean white belly shrimps, right? They don't have a running drain, These people lock down their shrimps head inside the bucket. Afternoon time when they're ready for disposal, but they even can't be in your own house watching the news or watching a movie on the television.
Where is this area here?
Good fortune.
Good fortune. Did you try raising this matter with NDC there?
Yes, I will, but the sanitary don't do nothing about it.
And you know the name of the sanitary?
No, I don't know. Which I don't know getting them thing, but it's overbearing, but it's very, very overbearing.
Get somebody to write a letter. Here what you can do. We can do it a couple of ways. If you're willing to address this matter, get somebody to write a letter to the newspaper, naming whoever it is. You see, the only way, because if you're saying that you're supposed to be protected by the law, by the police, and the police not doing the job, you're supposed to be protected by the sanitary or the NDC, and they're not doing it. Why are we allowing them to get away with it? That person's being paid, right?
I don't know, but I'm saying that I'm a grandfather. I got 4 grandchildren. It's me.
Right.
Sometimes the parents' place, they come and spend the time at me. I got relatives coming in from the States. With this smell here, they can't stay at me, please. Because it's very stink, but it stinks more than a dead human being.
No, like I know what you're talking about there, and that's something. And when you talk to them, what did they say?
The lady ready to abuse.
She ready to abuse. All right. Get someone to write a letter to the newspaper, that's one, and you copy it to the NDC as well as to the local government commission.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
But the next move I'm going to make an appointment with the Minister of Health and explain to them what's going on.
Which minister you want to reach?
I want to also to reach the Minister of Health. Sanitary, sorry.
Yes,
Sanitary.
yes. I think you should do the local government because if you have a sanitary inspector within your area, my understanding of the sanitary is that you can't do any building or you. I mean, if you got to go to this man to build a septic tank, if a man throw garbage in front of you and he's not supposed to be doing it or doing whatever it is that is going to have an impact on you, by the same logic, you're supposed to be going to him to that, and he's supposed to do it.
Yeah, I know.
Because if you want to build a septic tank, you gotta go to this man to go give a okay for it.
Yeah. But there are these human beings, these poor. Then you gotta think about other people.
Yes, yes, I agree with you. So look, here what you're gonna do. You're gonna write us a letter to the newspaper. I'd be happy to publish it, naming that inspector who's not doing the job, and even the NDC officials you complain to. And you say that it's an open letter to the Minister of Local Government because the local government minister has to know that his people are not doing anything. That the people under him. He has to know that.
Yes.
All right, do that for me, and I'd be more than happy to accommodate it.
I just hold a minute. I want to know what the traffic chief do with these people with the white lights and them trucks in the night.
They started a campaign with it, and I'm not sure what happened to that campaign.
Got a set up. A man got a set of truck at Sierra Joanna. He got a orange 65. The man got two white lights on the back tail lights. When he throw on the white light, you want blind who did the back of them.
Talk to if there's over in the West Demerara area, talk to the commander there and ask him whether he could probably intervene in it if nobody wants to do it. Talk to him. He's a very serious man. His name is Errol Watts. So thank you very much. We would have lost that call there. But at the end of the day, let me read a couple of messages very quickly. We must stop bashing the previous and present government on the Stabroek Oil deal. It's done. We have to look forward towards the future development of Guyana. Guyana is rich without oil and will always be. Our problem is management and politics. Proper management and less politics is the answer. Let's stop crying over spilled milk and move forward. That is one side of it. The other side of it, is it spilled milk? Is it too far? There's some school of thought by the international people because we have arrested the situation so very early that you could be able to, try to get a better deal. Is it that we're looking, when you look at other countries like Trinidad and so on, they have been able to renegotiate. So there's a school of thought which might be contrary to this particular gentleman, what he's saying there. But thank you very much, nevertheless. Hi, Len, good afternoon. Please, if you have a number for the old age pension, can you share? Some people in Cane Grove get a book and some did not. The Ministry of Human Services, I'm going to try to get a number for you, and maybe you could probably call them. I'm going to read it out during this program here, Ministry of Human Health. 1 second. In the meantime, a statement by the government of Guyana. Okay, this was issued today, the statement of the government of Guyana. This is issued today with regards to the Haitians. On the 3rd of December 2020, the Honorable Chief Justice Roxanne George granted a stay of deportation orders made in relation to 26 Haitians currently in Guyana. The case before the Chief Justice is still pending, and there's no indication when it will be concluded. Up to last night, the Haitians were being accommodated at the Hugo Chavez Rehabilitation and Reintegration Center. This I think it's in West Berbice. It must be emphasized that this is not a detention center. The center is properly staffed, resources, and the guests are adequately fed and supervised. The facility is secured and the conditions hygienic. However, since it cannot be determined when the legal proceedings will be concluded, the Haitians were offered either to remain at the facility or be released at an address of their choice. They chose the latter. After the meals last evening, they were dropped off at the address requested. Their valuables and passports were delivered to them. The government wishes to reject the wild and reckless allegations that are circulating on this matter, implore that politicians and others cease exploiting and sensationalizing this matter in the advancement of a selfish agenda. I thank you very much from the government of Guyana issuing this statement here. It has shed some clarity in it, and let me just go right into it here. The people came here, and they're Haitians. There's a lot of sentiments within CARICOM over the situation with the Haitians. But we have our borders. We are a sovereign country. We have a right to protect our borders. We have a government here. We have a right. There's no other country. The United States has their rules and regulations. Britain have their rules and regulations too. And when it comes to protecting their country, they have a right to introduce visa systems. They have a right to say who comes into their country or not. We have a right to say whether we want anybody to use our lands as a stepping stone to other lands. And hence, you would have seen the actions taken by the government to stop any plans to reopen the Molson Creek ferry stelling operations there, because you have several hundred Cubans waiting there. By the same token, we could say that when the Haitians came here and they were on the way, it isn't that they came into the country illegally. They came in here legally, but they were on the way in a vehicle heading towards another part of the country with a suitcase and otherwise. And based on what the authorities would have been finding as well as investigation, is that they were here to step into another man's country. Now you would have issues with diplomatic issues with Brazil, which could stop our Guyanese from going to there if they decide to take up the high horses one day and say, why are you allowing people to come into your country and come illegally into our country? There's diplomatic relations there that could have an impact there. I'm not here to defend the government. I don't work with government. I'm telling you, fundamentally, when it comes to protecting our borders, I would have an issue if this government don't take steps to protect it. We cannot have people coming in willy-nilly into this country. You don't know. If people come in and work, it's a different issue. If you apply for a work permit and they're being granted legally through the normal channels or through the agreed channels, that's okay. When you come in here by the thousands, you don't know where you're going. That's an uncontrolled situation, and you should have issues with that. These are fundamental issues that, as Guyanese, that you have to take a stance on. It has nothing to do with race or whoever it is, but it's good to hear that the Guyana government, the authorities, have taken a decision to allow the Haitians out. But in the meantime, are they moving to go to another place? Maybe they are free to leave to go to another place. But when it comes to allowing our people to come willy-nilly or come here unchecked into this country, because when you come here, you have to sign an immigration form which says what is it that you come in here for. If you say that you come in here for recreation and then we find that wholesale, everybody that comes is leaving here, and you could conclude that it is a stepping stone, you could take actions as a country, a sovereign country. So there's more to this side of the story here, and it's good for the government to understand or to give out their side of the story, that we could put it out there, because I did see a lot of people, my friends from the United States and New Jersey and so on, would have gotten on to me, and they're very angry with the situation of the Cubans. They're being described as being dumped in the stealth of the in the night at a hotel. That's not how we treat people. So here's the other side of the story. The people, the Haitians, were given an option: do you want to stay or do you want to leave? And they opted to leave. They were taken to a hotel. Is there anything wrong with that picture? I don't know, but I would love to hear from some of our people there. 2 sides, 3 sides, and 4 sides to every story is there. Do we have a caller online there? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, my brother. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Go
Man,
right ahead.
Leonard, I've been trying weeks and weeks to get onto your program. Never managed to get. I'm very fortunate to get through.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Anyhow, I'm a senior citizen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a very, very serious contention here with the public health system.
Yes.
Last week, I went there to do blood sampling, blood testing then. Now, they have a machine which was supposed
Where
to...
is this?
Public hospital.
Public
Georgetown.
hospital, right.
Yeah, they have a machine there which was supposed to do the chemical analysis of the blood. Right? That machine is down. I was there recently to do an X-ray the same week, earlier this week. I decided to find the machine. The machine is not up and running as yet. Now, I had to go to clinic. I heard the doctor telling the nurse that machine has been down for weeks now. Apparently, nobody is really doing anything. But I am surprised if it's only one machine they have there, one of that type. And public, the kind of...
What's the name of that machine?
I am not sure, but it does the chemical analysis of the biochemistry part of the blood.
Uh-huh.
Cholesterol and maybe sugar and whatever and so on. I don't know the name of the machine.
All right, I'm
But
gonna.
that's the machine that handles the chemical aspect of the blood.
All right, I'm gonna talk to the Director General. I think with Dr. Vishwa
Please,
Mahadi
I
on
do
this.
appreciate that, so I can get
I'm
it.
not.
I still got to get that thing done to go back to my clinic. I normally go to the skin clinic there, dermatology.
So you had to go local to a private clinic to do that?
No, I did not. I cannot afford to go private clinic to go chemical analysis on my blood.
Uh-huh.
I give them a blood sample. They did a part of the blood, counter one, two items, but the other part of it, which is the chemical analysis, I think they call it,
Yeah.
that has to be done in the machine. The machine is done weeks now.
All right, I'm going to try to find out what this is because we knew in the past that they were they were sometimes when the hospital used to keep their machines deliberately down because they have a friend who has a machine that's operating and they send everybody that come
Oh,
in.
the patients, they send them there.
They make a raise on the side.
Well,
and,
okay, the people who were there the day I went, nobody ever mentioned about to go in and get it done privately. So I guess maybe the people
it's
who were
poor
there
people, you know, and these are things that we have to pay attention to. But fortunately, we got some strict people now that at least that's what they're saying. And when I call out to them, why is this machine done? We should have an answer to it.
Yeah, I'd like to mention as a senior citizen, my resource, the financial is not anything much. I mean, you should be aware of that by now. I am not no rich person or whatever.
Yeah.
Just an ordinary citizen of the country. Yes, I try to make do it, but I cannot afford too much other expenses with the little financial resources I do get.
You know, I'm really when I hear stories like that, I get really, really worried because I don't want to be in a position that in my whole life. And when I hear people complaining, it tears at my heart.
Yes, I
It
understand.
tears at my heart. I don't want those situations. And people
And,
in desperate
yes, I do look for it. I can probably raise it with whoever might be able to do something about it, some authoritative person or whatever.
I thank you very much. I'm going to try to see what I could do.
Okay,
there,
thank you very much, Leonard.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you take care, brother.
Right. And so to all the senior citizens in this country here, to the Elizabeth Sunich and to Janet in the Caneville and James from Church Street and the rest of them and the grandmother all the way there in the quarantine Berbice and so many of them who've been calling on this program, tuned in and it doesn't matter whether you're calling or even looking or listening to the program. What we want to say to you that we understand that you have played a role, a very important role, a critical role in the development or where we are today in bringing the values that we should have as Guyanese people. And I don't care, you know, we talk about all these big talks in the United States and the rest of the places. When it comes to our people here, we have some very proud people here and we have very good people in this country. It's just that we need to wake up and, you know, need to smell the coffee and we still need to start being a little more aggressive. The reason for that is that it takes a special kind of people. If you want to be successful, there's a kind of culture that comes along with it. You got to ensure it's like if you get up every single day and you have a chores to do around your yard, you have to be disciplined about it. You know, have to ensure that you sweep the yard, you have to cook, you have to clean the drains, whatever it is that you do on a weekly basis. You have to wash your clothes and so on. These are chores. It is the discipline that comes with it. So it's like that. If you're building the country, there's a discipline that comes with it. You have to ensure that the systems work. You have to ensure that you don't pay bribes. You have to ensure when you go to places, behave bad when you see you're not getting the services. You know, I have some family members, I have some friends working along with Glenn Lal. He has his ways. He's a very aggressive man, and some days he and I would fight ding-dong battles, and I enjoyed those fights because it has really, really made me see things from a different perspective, and I like Glenn Lal. He is a man who does things so very much quietly, but he says things too. He has taught me to be outspoken, and many of the things that you see me talking on this program, if you had told me a couple of years back or even in February, January, that I would be sitting here talking to you people, raising issues, you know, being with you every single day, day in, day out, 5 days a week, I would have told you that you were crazy. That's not me. I don't have the time for that. That's one. And two, I don't have the courage. I don't have the stamina for that. Unfortunately, I would say that I am in a position where I am at. And fortunately, I've been able to meet people like you who have given me the encouragement, who have given us the necessary support that we need to keep this program alive and maybe do more things on other parts of this this radio station that we have here. The reason why we do it is not because we're getting paid for it or anything. By hell no. What we're doing here is because we love doing it. We want to do it. We want to see a better country, and it is something that we will continue to do it unless something happens that throws us in another direction. So very quickly, let me see before we go back to the lines. We are going to tell you good afternoon, my brother. How are you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a great day across Guyana. I have an issue with the Ministry of Education. When she came on your show, she says that there are 1,000 schools across Guyana. Well, my brother, she's wrong. When someone asked you if she was saying everything right, you said that she was well informed. Well, that's wrong. She needs to give you accurate answer. I want you to check it out for yourself. You will see. Thank you very much for that. I do have first-hand experience of people smoking marijuana. As a former worker of Gaisuko, lots of workers, cane cutters, using marijuana. If these cane cutters who have become addicted to it does not get drug, they cannot work. And the behavior becomes very hostile. So there should be strict laws relating to drugs. Hi, Leonard. The Haitian, if they leave, they should leave if they want to do so freely. Guyana will be on the human trafficking list if we are willingly facilitating that. Thank you very much. So some other angles to this story here. Hi, Leonard. I would like to talk about foreigners coming in our country. Leonard, in the time back, I did a lot of traveling, especially in the Caribbean. For you to land at any one of these airports, you have to show money of US $300 and a return ticket, outgoing or coming through. And if any one of the borders that border for our country, I don't understand the immigration system we have here, especially with the Haitians to be coming here, as far as I understand, on a one-way ticket. And this is a very good point. You cannot go to any country and have a one-way ticket. If this airport here is allowing it, we have some serious issues. Why is it that we have people coming here on tickets, one-way ticket? If that's indeed so, we have some serious issues at the airport here, and I think we need to relook at it. The Ministry of Home Affairs there, Mr. Robertson Ben, need to look into that. I'm going to ask Jerry Gavaya here, Captain Jerry Gavaya, as the advisor on security, to maybe appear in the program here, and maybe we could have our minister as well, Robertson Ben, onto the program, because we need to talk of so many other things too. I can't see why the court don't have the authority to immediately deport them back to the country. Something has to be done about the immigration department of this police force. Guyana cannot be an open door for any and everybody, criminals or who just want to come in and do as they like in this country. And I thank you very much for that. And that is the issue that we have here. Do you know who is in the backyard? Do you know that when you go to those stores and we have people working there, whether they have whether NIS is being paid for them? That's one. I lived in St. Martin, and I could tell you firsthand, from first experience, is that you cannot work there unless you have a work permit. And if you have a work permit, you have to pay your contributions to their social insurance that they have across there. We call it National Insurance Scheme. They call it over there social insurance. And you have to pay that, because at the end of the day, if you're sick, one of the things you cannot pay social insurance unless you have a work permit, and it goes hand in hand, because they don't want you to fall sick in their country or on the island there, and then you end up in the people's hospital, and you don't have any insurance because they're not going to pay for it. So these are things, when you come into the country, do you know if that person has a criminal record? So these are things that you have to start. Where you people, what is happening here? We have to start protecting this beautiful land of ours. And at this point in time, it is time for your insurance company to be telling you what are some of the things that you should know. And today you should know that you could follow the CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. on Facebook for special deals for all your insurance needs today. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. And I think we're heading for a break right now. We will be back. More calls on our lines, 226-7453 or 622-222.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer. With 6 months, no interest, and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Nice up your home for Christmas at Singer. Spend $20,000 or more between now and December 21st and be one of 4 winners of a Singer 55-inch Ultra HD television. Singer at home worldwide.
So thank you very much and welcome back to the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio. We coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio, also streaming live on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. If you're in Berbice, it's 99.5, in Demerara and Escobar 99.1. Want to say good day to the folks who join us from overseas and to the beautiful people across our lands right here in Guyana. If you're down in Georgetown, if you're traveling, make sure that you wear your mask. Whatever it is that you're doing, I want to wish also the people who are working hard to fix the harbor bridge there. They're hoping to have that situation rectified. You can recall last evening, yesterday, a barge went out of control that was transporting, I think it was bauxite, went out of control there and it slammed into the bridge and it would have shifted some parts of it out of line. So as of now, no heavy duty vehicle allowed to cross. If you're crossing, it's lighter vehicles. Make sure you take your time on the bridge. The engineers are there working very hard. I want to say good day to you guys. Make sure that you're safe. I know it's very dangerous work. You have divers, you have so many other persons there, and it's very dangerous work on the Demerara River. If you dare ever had an opportunity to stand on that bridge and see the waters, how it's flowing, it is a frightening sight, but they're day in, day out trying to keep that bridge afloat. They're doing a fantastic job, I must say, of making sure that things are happening there. Good day to the General Manager, Ralston Adams. I wish you and your crew all the best, making sure that you remain safe there. So right about now, we're back. We are telling you that you could call us on 226-7453. The line is open right now. Do we have a call in line? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi. Good afternoon to you, Leonard. How are you today?
Pretty good, sir. Go ahead.
Well, I have 2 issues I would like to highlight today. The very first one, I know that you are not a lawyer, but there is a matter at different Hoop Junction. You're well aware of that matter.
That has to do with the property that's standing there by the corner of the road, yes.
Now, I have some documents. I would like to bring it into you as a journalist. I would like you to go through them and tell me if they make sense. Can I make an appointment with you someday next week?
Next week, maybe you could do it maybe about 11 o'clock or so at the office.
Around 11. What about Tuesday around 11?
Good. Remind me the day before. Thanks.
No problem, sir. That's one. Number 2, the vendors on the road. Vending on the road, it's illegal. But things are very hard in the country. And I like this, the way how you put it over just somebody but a goal land. But, my brother, we deserve a living in our own country because any part of the world you go, vending is being done. But it's being done in an order.
It has to be. Everything has to be in accordance with the law. You cannot. You see when you start doing that, this has to do with the rule of law. And I don't want to disturb you by what you're saying, but it has to do. You see, if we start doing what we feel like, you're going to create a society where we could start. Imagine you have your kids start smoking in front of you with a weed because it's legal. You're going to have people coming in front. You know what happened to Regent Street stores right now? People are selling on the pavement because for a long time the city council did not move. Imagine you got a big store there and people selling. These are the kind of things that we're talking about.
I understand what you're coming at there. That's in Georgetown, but I'm talking about Regent Street. People will be pending on the roadway.
Yeah.
Now, the police and the various agencies, they give us a specification. Stay off the road, stay in the corner. What I notice the people are doing, they are stepping over onto the road. And by coming onto the road, they feel that they will get more business. But honestly, my brother, you don't get more business that way. You have to let the roadway clear so people can transport people. to the business side.
That's correct. That's correct.
So I am
You cannot
urging,
impede business.
I am urging my fellow vendors, keep in the corner. Because this morning you had a very good, sergeant from Pretty Hoop.
Yes.
He had a walkabout, and he was informing them, pleading to them to keep in the corner. When
Very
we
good.
keep in the corner, it is very good.
Very good.
It is good for the customer because you're certain that your customer wouldn't be hit down by a driver. They are in the corner. So I'm pleading to my people, please keep in the corner. Let me don't blame nobody for our downfall. We are our own maker and we can be our own destroyer in business.
I appreciate
So please
those
stay in
thoughts.
the corner, my brother.
I appreciate
And
those
Tuesday,
thoughts.
Tuesday, 11:30 is a date I would not be late.
All
You
right.
have a blessed day, sir.
11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. Make it 11.
11 o'clock, no problem.
Thank you very much, and thank you for those thoughts.
You have a blessed day.
Thank you. So I want to say good day to the folks across on the West Demerara area there. Whether you're a vendor, whether you're in the minibus, whether you're in a car, whatever it is that you're doing, whether you're a housewife, a house husband, a farmer, I want to say good day to you. And of course, we have students who are tuned in. We have teachers tuned in. We have people from the Ministry of Education also tuned into this program. They would call me from time to time. We also have people from the Ministry of Natural Resources. So many people across the lands. We have, some days you would see some texts for some from children, from students, and so thank you very much for what we're doing here. And I want to say good day to you. Make sure that we are doing things the correct way. And that gentleman did raise some very good points there. We don't want to kill people from earning a living, but we have to make sure that you don't have a situation that's going to go out of control. Because if Raj is doing it and Glenn is doing it, then Gildarie got to do it too. And before you catch yourself, the entire East Bank there, right along the way, there are markets all along the roadside. I think we could do it, but we have to do it in a very structured. It has to be in accordance with the laws. Do not break the laws. Do not do anything that is going to be in thing. But I'm seeing here. I want to stop here. I want to say good day to Mr. Lal in the studio. And Mr. Lal, impromptu. It's Christmas time. You want to have a word with us in the studio today?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you sit there. Mr. Lal is in the studio, and we're gonna. Sometimes it's good to do things in an impromptu way, because I've been wanting. Last night I was going home, and he just come off his radio program, and I wanted to ask him, me not being an employee here, me being a citizen of Guyana, and I'm gonna put him in the hot spot here. It's good to do that. It's good to say that I'm a man here and I have children, and as a citizen, why do you open your mouth every day? I see you on videos, I see you on the radio, sir. What is bothering you?
A lot of things bothering me. Good afternoon, Guyana, to all the listeners. I'm happy and I'm thankful that Gildarie allowed me to speak on this program. There are so many things bothering me, and there are so many things should be bothering you, Guyana. It has to do with our leaders. Our leaders is not running this country with this enormous wealth we have in a balanced way, in a way in which you should not be worrying about paying any bills whatsoever. No water bill, no light bill, no phone bill. All these bills should have already been paid by the state with the kind of wealth we have. And that's my job when the day comes, to educate all of you. Let you understand that we have tremendous wealth in this land. We are richer than America. We are richer than England. We are richer than Canada. But the people, doesn't know the wealth you have there. And unless you know what you have, unless you know that each pensioner should have been receiving at least $200,000 a month, not 15 and 20,000. Unless you know that a public servant should be taking home not less than $300,000-400,000 a month. Unless you know that, you would not be speaking up or stand up to your leaders and say, what is going on in this land? So you need to understand that. You need to understand that the deals our government is signing with these people in the oil industry, in the gold fields, in our mining sector, in our bauxite, the deals that they're signing with these foreigners is only to fetch away our wealth. And what is being thrown at us, guys? Let me tell you what is being thrown at us. The crumbs. And not the crumbs that fall off on the table. The crumbs that fall off the table on the ground. That is what we are collecting. That is what they're sharing with us. And I'll give you a simple example about our gold. Our gold, we have so many gold companies in here, foreign companies. And all you hear about is that our leaders are proud to tell you that Omai come back. Omai went here. Omai carry away tons and tons of our gold. They destroy our forestry. They destroy the land, because when you dredge for gold, you gotta prepare back the land so that it comes back normal. You don't leave big potholes that a truck could fall in and disappear. You have to fill back those holes as you mine. They're leaving our trenches blocked up. All they're concerned with is grabbing up your gold. Remember we had the cyanide spill that Omai ended up through in the ocean that killed out a whole set of
fish and so.
Not only the fishes, human beings lost their lives there. And what happened? They just pack the bags up and leave. They leave us to clean up the spill. They leave us to live with this with that toxic chemical they use to explode these rocks for our gold. So you need to understand that we are not getting a fair deal. We are not getting a fair share of our own wealth, your wealth. And that's what you need to understand. That's what I am trying to do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening at 7:20. I speak for about an hour trying to educate all Guyana that the deals we are getting on everything, our bauxite, the concessions we are giving away on bauxite alone. We are giving away $100 million US, our money that should have been in the treasury, in concessions to these foreign companies. And when you check what you're getting back from them, it's like we are taking our hard-earned money that's supposed to be coming to you in your homes to pay them to steal and take away our wealth.
And I want to ask you, Mr. Lal, very well said. The people who would have been looking at you, looking at the development, and you have been the one sole voice that has really stuck out here. I speaking with you, you have indicated that this is not going to stop. Could you tell us a little about some of the feedback that you've been getting from people? I understand a lot of people are coming on board now. Where is it going to end?
You know, last night's program, I talked about Comrade Ramjatan, the leader of the AFC. His voice, a matter of fact, I said he had lost his voice, and he finally found it back. And the first thing came out of his mouth was that a fishing license was granted to a Guyanese, a brother or a sister. And he was so livid why a fishing license was issued secretly to a Guyanese that he said he wrote the minister to explain why did he grant a fishing license. And then the next day he said he already sent a paper to Parliament to have this matter debated and come clean to the Guyanese nation. And I picked him up on that. And I said, look at this moron. I can't help calling some of these leaders morons. I try my best to find a nice name. But it's so impossible when you understand the issue at hand, Guyana, that this is a leader and he is taking a fishing license issue to Guyanese, to the parliament for that to be debated. I told him he should have been carrying the oil blocks contracts and the deals to parliament to be debated so that Guyana can benefit their fair share of that. Because all those oil deals are so stink. It smells worse than Ramjatan and some of our leaders. It is criminal. And let me as I'm on the fishing license business, let me let Guyana understand. This country has granted just over 80 licenses, 80 fishing licenses. That 80 fishing license went to about 7 people. Listen to me carefully, Gildarie. 7 people. Out of the 7 people, 6 of them are Guyanese and 1 foreigner. Guess how much license that 1 foreigner got out of the 80? That company has 30 licenses out of the 80. So I asked Ramjatan, where is his voice as to 1 foreign company can has 30 fishing license and the rest divided into the 6 Guyanese? Where is his voice on that? At least we know for sure if Gildarie, Glenlal or Raj, Guyanese, get our fishing license, when we go out there and we catch our fish and we sell our fish, the money stays here. It's being consumed and switched around and spent in our country. But when that 1 foreign company has 30 license and he took his prawns and his sebab and his snapper and his gray snapper to Europe or to Canada or to America, you think that money coming back here? Just think about that. Think about who's grabbing up your wealth, and our leaders are quiet. You know, I said last night, had that fishing license gone to a foreigner, I don't think Ramjatan would have said a word. His mouth would have gone between his tail. And this is these are the issues Guyanese need to listen to. These are the things you need to understand. What's playing out with your wealth. A matter of fact, a fisherman tell me, Glenn, you guys should go to the wharves and see the kind of fishes that is coming in there now. The small ones they're bringing in because the big ones finish. Who's bringing them in? These trawlers. You're not supposed to bring in those things. You have laws to protect the fishing industry in which you are only supposed to catch a certain size. Mm-hmm. But these guys cleaning up the whole goddamn waters. Then in a few years, what will happen? One fisherman says, one trawler guy told me, he said in another 2-3 years, we have to import fish. Maybe we have to bring fish from Africa or India or Asia. There will be no fish.
And let me ask you this, Mr. Lal. Are the people getting the message that you're trying to send out there? You're a newspaperman, and you're taking on what's supposed to be the role of what the politicians are supposed to be doing. Are the people getting the message?
Slowly they will get it.
How far are you willing to go with this?
I am willing to go to the end of my life with it. Every day. You know, I always believe one of the greatest gifts you can give to any human being is knowledge. Once you educate them, they themselves will stand up. Remember the saying? Don't give a man a fish. Teach him how to fish. So our job, our duty here as media operatives, we are here to educate every one of them. Let them know. If they don't know, let us talk. Let us chit-chat with them so they can understand what's playing out. So they by themselves can wake up and says, guys, no, I'm not going to vote for you people anymore. And force them to go by the doorsteps with a placard and say, what is going on here? Ramjatan, why haven't you spoke out about the one foreign company that owns 30 fishing license. And you're so livid about one license being given to one of our brother or one of our sisters. You see, what I said there, I'm pretty much certain that some of them understand and they're livid themselves. They're upset just like me. Because it's unfair. It's unfair for you to allow foreigners to come and clean up your wealth. Our children's future. Our children's future. They need to understand this is not only this present generation, me and you, Guyana, that is being affected here. Future generations will be affected. When you empty the gold fields, when you empty our diamond fields, when you empty our timber like what Baishanlin is doing, when you empty the oil basin out there, what will left for our children? And that's a basic question people need to ask themselves. When you empty, it's like you empty your pot, right? What happened to the child that has to come home to eat? Nothing. So our leaders need to take note of that and make sure that whatever they do, they make provisions, they put systems in place to benefit future generations and our children and grandchildren too.
And that's what he's saying there is for you to wake up and smell the coffee, because there's a Wake Up Guyana show with your host Leonard Gildarie, and in our studio today is no other than the publisher of Kaieteur News, Mr. Leonard. And as you know, that he doesn't, he doesn't pull any punches when it comes to saying things. In fact, what you're seeing happening in Guyana right now is a newspaperman, is a media personnel willing to stand up for Guyana at a time when everybody seemed to be shutting them out or not being aware of where they could probably take this country if they all stand as one, stand united in talking about things that are affecting them. And Mr. Lyle, I know that you have your program three days a week, I think it is. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:20. Tune into Kaieteur News. But also you have been doing some videos, short videos, which a lot of people have been calling me on, and they're talking, you're a very brave man. So have you received any kind of feedback maybe from the politicians that they are taking note of what you're doing?
Politicians afraid to speak with me. They're just afraid to speak to me because they realize they have messed up big time, and they wouldn't speak to me because they don't want to hear the words that come out of my mouth to them directly. And before I leave you, I just want to let your listeners understand. The coalition came out of office almost 2 months, and the opposition leader, Joe Harmon, promised on 4 separate occasions with the press when questioned about these oil contracts. He says basically he doesn't know much. This is a man who was running this country. He's telling the media and telling Guyana he didn't know much. That he has to put together the oil team in his party to hold a special press conference to deal with all the questions we have. Guyana, my brothers and sisters listening to me, we are still waiting on Joe Harmon, the opposition leader, to put together this oil team that he's talking about from his party to come and answer the questions as to the deals they have signed on our behalf. So I leave that with you for just to tickle your brain. Ask yourself why these guys are not coming out to face the nation, to face the press, so that we can understand what kind of deals and why you sign such a deals with not only our oil, but our gold, our bauxite, and every single mineral and resources we have in this land. They're not coming out. And I will continue to call them out. And call them by names, so that you guys need to know who are the players behind all the deals. And do not give them room to run and hide in any in any bedroom. we will be calling them out. Glenlal will be calling them out one by one to step up, to step out here and let us know. Because the nation needs to know. It's our resources, it's our wealth. Like I said earlier when I started, that your salary, if you're working in the public servant for $100,000 a month, you should have been carrying home by now with the wealth. We should have already collected so much money already from signing bonuses, production bonus, and all these upfront money we should have been getting from these foreigners. That could have raised your salary to $300,000-$400,000 a month. But nobody's saying anything. So we have to fight our own selves to get what belongs to us. We got to fight for your thing.
And so there you would have had it, Mr. Glenn Lal, publisher of Kaieteur News, as well as a director owner of Kaieteur Radio. And what he's saying very clearly, he is going to use his resources, continue to do so. He has been doing so over the years, but this is on a different level now. It has to do with fighting for natural resources, fighting for better for this country here. And there's nothing wrong with that. For you to wake up and smell the coffee and understand the possibilities of where we could be if we only have the will. And he's saying that he's willing to lead from the front with this fight here, and he's not going to stop, and he hasn't been stopping. So thank you very much, Mr. Lal.
Let me finally say, please join me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7:20 in the night. And if you cannot join me 7:20 and you go to bed early, which I don't want you to do, it's not very healthy to go to bed 7:20. When you sleep too much, you lose out. And what they're doing, they want us to sleep. You can join the radio station at 11 o'clock every day for a rebroadcast of what transpired the night before, just in case you went to bed early. And don't forget, you sleep, you lose. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, dear Mr. Glenn Lal. Have a pleasant rest of the day on there. See you again. So, in the meantime, you're tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show right here on Kaieteur Radio with your host, Leonard Gildarie, and we're coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio. In the meantime, we've put our people's business aside, but we're going to come back. Hi, Mr. Leonard. I would like to oppose Mr. Lal on one point. Politicians are not afraid to speak. They're laughing at how docile Guyanese people are. They won't take on to the streets and protest. Thank you very much for that. My brother, I just want to point out a few things that what I can do in Guyana, I can do in the U.S. So, okay, why is it that the government illegal? So much illegal people come and do business in Guyana. My brother, I like to live stream with you so I could voice my opinion too. Leonard Glenn is talking the truth. As a journalist, you need to ask tough questions. Do not be afraid to ask. Thank you very much for that. Sir, good day to you, your boss, and your listeners. I believe that the government and NIS should review the prices that they give to assist the spectacles and dental. I go so far to consider costs for funeral expenses, judging from the facts and seeing how these leaders are staying silent on the oil block deal is only there to kill us slowly but surely. My message to the leader is, since that they cannot give us a good life, then at least stand the expense of this in their decent funeral. Thank you very much for that. So in the meantime, do we have a caller online? Good afternoon, caller. You're in the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Leonard.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you today?
Pretty good. I'm all fired up. You heard Glenn Lal here.
I hear Glenn Lal. I do enjoy all his comments. Everything he talking is very true. And I know that soon what he talking will become true, that Guyanese will have to live. Guyana have to live on the rice that them eat, and then the sugar, we have to eat sugar and rice too. So we also call for tell you that I congratulate the 19-year-old boy. He make Guyana very proud that he take what he has to do and make his life very happy. We wish that we had many other young people like he, where they're all about in the corner and smoke ganja and waste them life and could put good effort in their life for later days. And come again and thank you again for that child, that whatever he did. I congratulate them again and thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Have a pleasant rest of the day. So it's good to for our people to recognize, when you see little kids and when you see children, when you see the young ones starting to take the wheels of this country and they start taking control and they start doing the things, we are the ones who working to ensure that our children get a better life, that you don't want them to suffer. At least they have the basic tools and education, some skills, so that when you pass on, that they're prepared to go through life, because it's a very tough world. If you don't get yourself in order there. I've learned one thing very clearly, that when you see people doing everything to destroy this country here, that you should take them down. The meaning that do not allow people to be to believe that you're scared of them. Start criticizing, start allowing the system to work for you. If you allow people to walk all over you, that's what they want. They want you to be at your weakest by shutting him out. And like Leonard says, he's not going to stop, and I don't believe he's going to stop either. I've worked with him 13 years. I've known him longer than that. And when I see he has done things, the way that he do things, he's very aggressive. He's take on the entire staff when everybody is against him. He fight very gritty fights with them there. It's a war room in our editorials when it comes to these issues here. But it is what is needed. Even though you might be the only one who's standing there, if you believe that you're right, stand up for the right thing. Make sure that they hear your voice very loud and clear. If somebody tells you that you can't do something, we had a neighborhood bully there, right in Diamond where I'm living. Tells all the girl children and everybody what he wants to do with them and so on. He smokes up, he drinks up and things like that. Today I could tell you that he is one of the best neighbors because he looks out for me. Guess what? I put him in the lockups. When I say put him, I went to the police and I sat on the police there to make sure that they do whatever it is, because he was threatening me, threatening the neighbors. When I opened my mouth, he didn't like it, so he decided he wants to get aggressive. Well, I got aggressive too. I know that I was scared at one point in time, but guess what? I wasn't going to stop either. And that's the attitude that you would have to take. So very, very quickly, we are running through our messages here. Leonard, good afternoon. 2 fruit vendors, one near the stadium and the other by Diamond, taking over all the entire footpath with stalls. So one has to divert and walk on the busy road. If you want to pass or go further, what happens to the NDC? So these vendors don't wear masks. It's scary. So thank you very much for that. Good afternoon, Uncle Leonard. This is Angelina Manny. Good day to you, Angelina. Good day to you, my dear. Good afternoon. We live in Fowls, East Coast Demerara, where someone rear livestock and cows, sheep and goats. And NDC not do nothing. Thank you very much. Could you maybe take some pictures, send it to us, and maybe we send it to EPA, or rather send it to the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. Call them, misbehave with them, write it up on social media. You guys don't need to start being aggressive. Hi Leonard, please ask Mr. Lal who are backup singers. I like that calypso and he should enter it into the match contest. I'm going to find out. I think it is a couple of people that was doing it. I'm not sure. I'm going to find out who it is that he would have had. A good day to Lavanya Gobin. She said for us to call her out. Good afternoon, bro. I was sick for the past few weeks. I'm not much better. I need some help to start back. Thank you very much. I'm not sure we're gonna chat sometime. All right. Let me see. Do we have another call online there? Go right ahead. Caller, good afternoon. You're on the air. Go right ahead. Hello. Hello. You got a low volume on your radio, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon, sir. Good. How are you doing?
Good. I like your program, man.
You like it? Good.
Oh, Mr. Gildarie, doing just as Sharma used to do before.
Well, we're not sure if there's a Sharma. This is Sharma and Adrenaline here.
Oh, like how Sharma used to get program?
Yes.
I saw Mr. Gildarie get program now, but you is nice. Educated. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Any questions, any comments at this point in time? So that gentleman just called in to say thank you very much, and it's all good to have the encouragement from time to time. Hi, Esquibo. I have the same problem with vendor Anna Regina. The president was in Anna Regina, and did say the people did not say anything. The people vend in front of the post office have been drinking on Friday. Sorry. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon to you too. So it seems as if all over this country, and again, it comes back to a fundamental issue. Do not break the law. Everybody has a right to earn a living, but it has to be done in a manner that is in keeping with the regulations. I'm a very strict stickler for that. Ensure that we do things the correct way. Hi, good afternoon, sir. Do not disclose my name, telephone number, or information by me. We went to funeral last Saturday. Went to Cabra, Rise Lost North. Cabra, okay. You can't do that. We're not going to get into these personal things. I'm sorry with that. Hi, good afternoon. We have a hospital in Maibikuri, Blackbush Polo. And when you're dead, you have to hire a horse and take your dead to Rose Hall or New Amsterdam. The hospital have a mortuary, and we can't understand why your dead can be stored there. Please, can anything be done there? Yes, please raise this with the regional authorities in Region 6 there, Mr. Armagon or anybody there, the REO, Mr. Zamal Hussein, anybody there is going to take that, because I think they should be in charge there. If not, there's a regional health officer there. I think her name is, I can't remember, I think Miss Bash or something. The regional health officer, she is willing to take these things here. So let us look at it. I probably would have a chat with her too. Good afternoon, Leonard. No, let me see. Do we have another call in the air? Good afternoon, caller on the air. Go right ahead. Hello. Yes, you're on to the Kaieteur News, Kaieteur Radio program here, the Wake Up Guyana show. Go right ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Number one, we need to pay for light and water.
You're suffering from what?
We need to pay for light and water in this country.
Yes.
Number two, Indian people and black people, they're fighting racially in this country. We supposed to fight for our iron and gold and everything in this country.
You're talking the kind of language that we should be talking.
That we supposed to fight for. Not racialness. One card just no Shama. We want to Shama. We want here our right in every country. I will join Mr. General. How long I live? Because the man talking the right thing.
You could call him on his number there, because I have seen people being very passionate about a lot of things, but Glenn has been so, how you say it, this thing, he lives it, he breathes it. He's so passionate that this has become like a mantra to him every single day. I think you should call him. I'm going to give you his number, 624-6456. Call him, talk to him. 624-6456.
Okay, thank you, right?
Thank you very much. And it's good that we have passionate people in this country. Start being passionate about the madness that's going on the road. Start being passionate about the kind of services that you have at your government facilities, at the government entities. When you go there and they give you crappy service, open your mouth and start talking. Do not allow the security guard to dictate to you. They're there for law and order, but they cannot tell you if they're offering or allowing the friends to get in before you. And so start opening them out. The Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Housing and Water. Whenever you see things, start taking pictures, post it up. The ministers then want to know what is happening, because they're upstairs, they can't see everything. So when you have a few underlings and other persons who are dictating, and you try to give us crappy service and we can't open our mouths, that says a lot. That's what the gentleman is saying there. Let me see what is happening. Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Leonard. What's the purpose of the mayor and city council? Got the GT stink and the congestion. Vendors take over all over the footpath and paves. No proper reinforcement and rules and regulations. Good question there. Good comment there, my dear. And you see, the issue is, when you have city councils not working, when you have people taking over and doing whatever they feel like, 20 years from now, they have a right to do whatever they're doing because they've been there 20 years. Try moving them 20 years from now. The situation has to be arrested right now. We could talk about the oil. We could talk about vending. We could talk about being on the roadside. We could talk about all kinds of things that is happening. We could talk about the police taking bribes. We could talk about all those things. Don't arrest it now. 20 years from now, it's an uncontrollable situation. You could allow everybody into your country, and then eventually, you know what? Start taking over your jobs, take away your children, they take away your home. You know, these are things, it sounds funny, right? These are things you start looking. If you don't arrest the situation right now, you're going to wake up and the country no longer belongs to you. As of now, could you say that this country belongs to you? Because everybody comes in, take away the wealth that belongs to you, take away your back dam with your gold and everything, take it out by the shiploads or by whatever it is, make the billions, and you there shut your mouth and you can't say anything because you believe it's a politician's job. Well, you leave it to the politician and you're going to see what is going to happen. You're going to wake up one morning and you're going to see this country, you start speaking Dutch, Portuguese, Chinese, everything else except Guyanese and the Creolese. Start getting your act together. It's a Wake Up Guyana show. It's just about 15 minutes more thereabouts before we call it a day, and we are opening the lines again. Good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Good afternoon, Leonard. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Tell me.
Look, man, I got a problem here. Tell you, look, in September the 16th, I sent in a claim to NIS. And on 10 days after, I sent in another claim to NIS. The one on the 16th, I get it about 3 weeks back. You know, the other claim, this is about 10 weeks now, nothing. When I called by the 24th of last month, they said the claim is just only the sign. This is next 3 weeks finish, and nothing can be done. These people got to handle, have to get their money back. They spend their money. If something is wrong, then I for wait for 10 weeks for a claim to be finished.
Right. 6400 639. I spoke to NIS this morning because I had to send something to them. 6400 639. The lady is taking calls here. You might got to call a couple of times because they got plenty calls coming into them.
I called 3461 this morning. I tried to get him on.
No. Call 6400 639. It's a cell number that the GM has put into place here.
6400
639.
639.
Call them and talk to them, and you're so fast. Tell them that you spoke with us because I spoke to them this morning.
Oh, David, write down this number 64
100 639.
Yes, good. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you very much, dear sir. Okay, let me see very quickly what is it that you're saying. Good afternoon, sir. My son have a disability with his foot and can't get any help. Ministry of Human Services, you got to make contact with them. Did you make any contact? I don't know. You haven't said anything there. Let us see. Good afternoon, sir. The people in Region 4 will be getting their $25,000 soon from the NCNU. They said that if you're not home when the officials come to distribute the money, you must leave your phone number. I guess with your neighbors so that they could contact you. This leaving the phone number wasn't applied to the other regions. So a lot of us didn't get the money. Can that be a fair process, sir? I don't know anything about this. What you're raising there, it is news to me. And this whole thing here, it's a very touchy situation. They're not saying when they come into the areas because it's a security issue there. And I'm not sure what are the procedures because the procedures have to be are being kept right within the distribution folks who are doing that on behalf of the Ministry of Finance and so on. But talk to your RDC and your NDC there because as this situation go, we pay very close attention to distribution and it is ongoing. We cannot comment too much about it. The people are telling us, and a lot of people who have received the money, they haven't called us back. They were telling us they did not get the money, but they have not called us back and say we did not receive our money. Leonard, the cyanide spill took place on 28th of August 1995 at 10 p.m. Thank you very much. That's some history for us. Good afternoon, sir. Season's greetings to all. You could say where the public servants will get any bonus for the holidays. We have not received that. I'm telling you, I did ask this to the Minister of Labor, and the Minister of Labor says he doesn't want to comment on it too much. So let's see what happens. As soon as I get a word, I'm going to think. We're going to try to raise the issue with our government officials as well and see what happens. Mr. Leonard, I'm 64 years old, but I don't know if the government and Exxon people are going to rob me of my oil money. I just want to know if the government and Exxon people are going to rob me of my oil money. I can't say if the government is going to rob me. I could tell you that the deal that we have with ExxonMobil at the moment, while it's a done deal, it's being viewed as some quarters. There are others who believe that it should be renegotiated. Mr. Lal is going to tell you clearly that based on what we've seen around the world, it should be negotiated. And that is what Guyana is pushing for. The newspaper is filled with backings on that. Do we have another caller in the air? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing?
I love Mr. Glad.
You love him? You should hear him when he talks his industrial language.
I love him. Look, I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him. But guess what? I hope his fire burns some food. And we need action. We want him to organize a protest. We Guyanese, we sit down in our homes and we sip our little drink and champagne, and we don't want to face the sun because we get dark, or people got to see we hear straight. And we said, look, you got to organize a protest. Let Mr. Lal organize a protest with Debbie Aini.
You'd give him a call. Give him a call sometime and talk to him, because maybe you could give him some ideas too. 624-6456.
624-6456.
He said give them his number, so let him call him.
We need Mr. Lal as a leader. Listen. We need him to run for president.
Oh, that's another story by itself.
We want him to run as the president. They're robbing. Look the money. Watch. If I know Grange, but look how much public servants are working for in 2014. $34,000. Could you believe that? And they got so much of oil and gold and timber and lumber, and giving disability $4,000. What are they do? And you know what I don't like with these governments? We, the people, put them in there. When they go inside there, look how the guy we eating breadcrumbs according to Mr. Lal. The guy we eating trash. We can't cook a proper food when the days come. Some of we picnic them can't even get milk, not even cow milk. We can't afford them things. The house rent them when you for rent it. It's more than your salary when the months come, Mr. Gildarie. We need Mr. Glenn Lal as a leader. We want to be organize a protest, and we protest against these international people them, and against the government who's sitting down and allowing these people come in and rob us out of our own money. This is unfair.
All right, no problem. I'll make sure that I express those sentiments to him.
Yes, do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear, my dear. So this is a comment here coming from Esquibo. Hi, good afternoon, sir. How are you? I have a concern in Esquibo here. I want to know if this is fair. The REO and the chairperson here giving opportunity to their family members on vacancy job, and no other is given a chance to get a job. So this is very unfair. Last 2 weeks, the charity NDC chairman was drunk in the office. He come out drunk. He even for long and was in a mess. The taxi man threw him in his car and took him home. I think he should have thrown him in the garbage tank, so when he gets sober, he should see himself there. Thank you very much, dear. I hope that you see we have read it, and these are not good things. If it is indeed true, it says a lot about our people there who are in public office, and these NDCs and the regional democratic councils, as we've always said, they're supposed to be doing a big chunk of the government services of ensuring that communities are being kept tip-top shape. And if they're not doing it, and they have all the tools available, they have the local government laws, they have everything, they could do things with the taxes and so on. But when you keep communities and you're dependent on government, like I'm driving along the Diamond Road every single day, and the potholes that are coming there, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4 potholes. I'm not saying anything. The NDC people live in there, and they're driving every single day, and nobody is doing anything about it. If you're listening there, Mr. Gildarie and Mr. Wanejil, ministers within the Public Works Department there, we need some help there. And even the Grove Diamond NDC, somebody is sleeping at the wheel there. You guys need to do a little more. Somebody need to pay attention. What's happening with the overseer, the rangers that we would have working there? They need to go out to see what is happening, and if you know that's such an important road, that road there, that Diamond Road there, such an important road, and in the access road there, thousands of vehicles are traversing it every single day, and you're not in that area there and seeing that there's a hole or two that needs to be fixed. Something, it says a lot about how committed that you are. And to hear that these people here, the NDC chairman and so on, they're there and they're not doing anything, and this man is drunk, falling down, and he's coming out of his office drunk in his office. What does that say? Family is being given, and everybody's watching. Don't you have if this is indeed so, 2-3 sides to every story. If it's indeed so that a chairperson and the REO giving the family job. It says a lot. We need to have some more details so we could bring these people out. It cannot be accepted. Good afternoon, Leonard. I just want to address the migrants issue in Guyana. With such a small population, if Guyana continues to accept refugees on a large scale, our country's identity will change drastically. Culture, language, customs will all be destroyed. Thank you very much for that. Do we have a call on the air? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon.
Myself and my husband have been following your program for quite some time.
Thank you.
And I must congratulate Mr. Lal on being so upfront about what's going on in the country. As a young Guyanese, it's very frustrating when you think about the resources our country have. And today we still have poverty. We still have single parents who on a daily basis on the radio calling in for help, even on Facebook, people would share videos of single parents who need help. I mean, we had a change of government. We thought it would have been good, right? They went in, they did nothing. They made the situation worse. During the 2015 election, you saw APNU on television talking about all the resources that PPP had given away. APNU came in, you thought you would have gotten better men. They did the same thing. PPP condemned APNU about what they were doing with the oil and gas sector. PPP came in, they're doing the same thing. Like this is just a vicious cycle. And the thing that is killing me the most is that, sometime last night I was listening to Mr. Lal on the program. And quite some time I've been telling my husband, since PPP went into power, I've been telling him over and over, PPP and APNU, they're all one. They're on the same page in ripping the country and Guyanese people apart. They don't give anything about Guyanese people and the poorer class. All they care about is their self and their family and friends. And I really, really admire the way Mr. Lal came out and what he said last night. He's not afraid of no one. And he will continue to talk.
Mm-hmm. I'll make sure I tell him. I thank you very much for that. And if you don't talk again, have a good season, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year.
You too, Mr. Gildarie.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. So in the meantime, you're tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show, and let's see what our people are saying here. Good afternoon, Leonard. I have an issue regarding New Amsterdam market. I'm a vendor if the market in the market there for 20 years now. My problem is about the mayor and the town council of the market. When it comes to stand rent, if you don't pay 1 week, they added $300 interest to your stand rent. Last week, Saturday, I didn't go because I wasn't feeling well. On Monday, when I go, my rent for Saturday, they're telling me that I have to pay the $300. So I went and reached the mayor, and she telling me how I have to pay. That is, we people that is in government caused that. Mr. Leonard in Skeldon, Port Morant, and Rosal Market, they don't take or add interest to their stand rent in the New Amsterdam market. I'd like someone to look into this matter. I think the Ministry of, let me see how this could happen. I think the Ministry of Local Government could look into this matter here if it's an issue. I'm not sure what the bylaws of the town council would be saying with regards to rents and so on. But if you have any issue, the Ministry of Local Government might be one of the ministries that you might want to talk to. Ask them whether it's legal and whether you could refuse to pay it, because even the Local Government Commission in Georgetown here, that you could talk to them. We do happen to have a Local Government Commission which is in charge of all, or which have regulatory powers over all those local government organs like the mayor and town council in the various regions, the NDCs and so on. And you could complain to the Local Government Commission. I don't happen to have those numbers. I'd have to start keeping these numbers and just giving it to you, giving it to the people when they call. But you could call them and you could raise these issues with them, and especially with this, if you believe that you did not get any kind of, justice, as the boys would say, from the particular party, in this case the mayor there. So it's just about 2:55. Unfortunately, it's time to wind up and say we are coming to an end to the program. If you've missed this program here, you could relook at it on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. We would have been coming to you live from our studio here in Saffron Street at Charlestown in Georgetown. We would have been coming to you also on 99.1 in Essequibo and Demerara. And if you're in Berbice, it's 99.5. I want to say good day to everybody who have joined us today. We will be back tomorrow, Friday. This month is galloping to an end of the year so very, very quickly. We're coming on to Christmas. I do intend to really have a relaxed time. It's been tough. It's been one of the toughest years in my life. So I hope that you understand that we have life. We could be able to breathe a little. Yes, things are tough with you too, but have a positive spirit, have some very positive energy, because we're heading into a year where it's not going to get so very easy next year as well, because we will still be in a pandemic mode. But what I could tell you is, as long as you have life and you could breathe, there's tomorrow in which we could do things a little better. Maybe this COVID-19 and elections 2020 would have opened our eyes, given us some other opportunities in which to do things a little better. We should thank thank ourselves, thank the country. If you believe in God, maybe you should thank God too for giving you that opportunity to live, have another opportunity to make things right, make it better. So we could ourselves going forward in this country, make sure that let's play a role in the development of this country. I think that's what Glenn Lal is saying. That's what our people are saying, that we're waking up right now, that we're starting to be a little more aware of what is happening right under our noses. And don't sit still. Do not sit on your hands. Start opening up your mouth. It starts within your community, in your street, with your neighborhood. Start from right there, and it's going to get better. If you have a fever that is spreading across this country, that we want better for our country, then it starts with each and every citizen within this country. I'm not a politician. I'm just a citizen that has taken time off to be with you, so we could see how we could better this country. I hope that we had a good time today. Our eyes are peeled a little more, and that we could be able to be a little more aware. Have a pleasant rest of the day. Be back with you tomorrow, same place, same time. In the meantime, stay safe. Make sure you wear your mask, sanitize. Until.
Imagine up to $500,000 cash in your hand. Shop at Singer from now to December 21 and win your share of $2 million. Spend $20,000 or more and be one of 4 winners of $250,000 each. Plus, 2 lucky shoppers will each win $500,000. Get cash in your hand for the Christmas at Singer. With 6 months, no interest, and up to 36 months to pay. Singer at home worldwide.
Tired of changing your baby's clothes? We have the perfect solution. Sleepy denim diapers, giving you that fashionable denim look throughout the day with the same soft touch. Look cool, look hip, rock in style with Sleepy jeans.